Hello again. Standing out or going over the line. By the end of this video, you will know how to make your virtual presentation stand out from the crowd. A bit like this post-it note.
Well, I'm not sure about that, standing out from the crowd. Tall daisies getting themselves cut down. Much better to be a low-lying daisy. Rubbish! You need to be seen and heard. And to do that, you need to talk very loudly. No, you need to give value and take a risk. How do you do that? And without losing your job. You take a risk and then somebody reports you in HR and you lose your job, you lose your house, and before you know it, your wife's having an affair with a librarian. Not that it's happened to me, but it could happen, theoretically.
Well, I'm going to show you how you can stand out safely. I promise you won't lose your job or your family, and it's not by talking loudly. When it comes to a business presentation, most speakers fail to take any risks whatsoever. And the result is safe, dull presentations that become actually dangerous because the audience is so bored. Most presentations could do with a little bit more innovation. And that's without risking your presentation. As Mark Zuckerberg says, what is over the line? When working with new comedians, I talk about the need to cross over the line from what's acceptable and safe into more dangerous and even unacceptable and exciting areas that push them away from the norm. Most comedians fear the silence of an audience, the non-laugh. So in an effort to ensure they don't fail, they guarantee failure by playing it safe. And this understandable approach means that their comedy can occupy that dead humour zone frequented by DJs, sales reps and dodgy uncles. So to find something more interesting, funny and in the end ear-catching, comedians have to move their material over the line and play and create in that area. And so when it comes to a business presentation, and the same thing actually, no, when it comes to a business presentation, most presenters don't get close to the line. The result is safe, dull presentations that become dangerous because the audience is bored. So why is the line important? Because in the information age, when more creative genius is swirling around the world and more ideas and more stuff than ever before, the same old will never do. If you want to be heard and acted on, then you need to take your presentation over the line. And if you decide you've gone too far, remember that before you present, you can always pull it back. But unless you play over the line as you rehearse and prepare, you will never come up with something truly original and daring. Here's some tips to help you get there. Firstly, embrace humour. Secondly, take your mindset over the line. Start to think in a more dangerous, exciting way. Use the imagine if technique. So for instance, imagine if your presentation had joy and wonder, or excitement and verve, love and anger, or raw transparency, just being honest. How would your material and delivery sound in these situations? What would you say? How would it be different? What elements of that presentation could you use next time you present? Finally, if you want to go over the line, use the power of random. So right now, I want you to grab a random object from your desk, anything. You got it? I'm going to use this post-it note here. Now, find a way of incorporating that random object into your presentation. So I've got this post-it note. Now I could say, for instance, a post-it note is by its nature temporary and tends to fall off not long after it's been put up and is soon forgotten. It is temporary. A bit like most presentations, but what we want to do is to get our presentations to stick, and I'm going to show you how by going over the line. Now it's your turn, and honestly one of the easiest ways to get your presentation to stand out is go over the line. Then run the idea past a colleague, and the very nature of going over the line will mean that you're taking a risk, which means that actually to avoid losing your job, you do need to check that it's not going to get you into trouble. And then once you're sure that your idea is in a good place, won't get you to lose your job or your family or anything even worse, then you can put it into action and get your presentation to really stand out from the norm, get noticed, and make a difference to your audience.